Welcome to Eccleston Piano Teacher. This video is something of a departure from what I'm usually offering up. It's not me playing piano, it's not a pupil playing piano, it's not me playing keyboard, it's not me talking about any aspect of music theory. I'm looking at the YouTube statistics of one of my videos from April, Get Back, the well-known Beatles song. There's been some recent increase in the viewing statistics, so I'm going to be showing you some screenshots of the impressions and the viewing figures, which may be useful to people who are perhaps in the early stages of starting their own YouTube channel, and I hope you find this useful. So this first screen here shows the general statistics for Get Back by the Beatles as produced by me on keyboard back in April, and these are the total number of views for the whole time it's been out: 786, watch time 15.5, which is not bad, and it's brought in 3 subscribers. Now the second picture shows you how many views it's had in the last 28 days, and it's 238 views, which is actually 30% of all views simply from the last 28 days, which is very interesting. Also in the graph there you can see how there is a growth from around about the 16th, 17th of October, 4 on the 17th of October, and there's a definite rise there. And in fact we can be more specific. If we look at the last 2 weeks, it received 158 views, which actually adds up to 20% of all views. So it was released 29 weeks ago and got 786 views, and yet the last 2 weeks has captured 20% of all views. Something very interesting going on. And just to highlight how these recent statistics are noticeable, if you look at the end of April for our 2-week period into early May, the video only got 14 views, which was not encouraging at all. Now what is interesting here is when we begin to get into the YouTube analytics, and I'm going to look a bit at impressions. Now impressions are what YouTube presents to people when they do a search. So earlier today I did a search for Yamaha chords. What you can see on the screen here shows the top 4. I came 2nd, 3rd and 4th. The Yamaha PSR E373 keyboard, the blue background one, that's me, and also the yellow one, chord dictionary, and the purple one, ACMP button, that's all of me. Now when I actually clicked on the yellow one, this is what I saw. So there's a screenshot of the opening part of my introduction, but down the side there you can see some videos, and the pictures are actually what we call thumbnails. Now these are impressions. These impressions are what YouTube presents to people when they're searching as options for the viewer to click on. And the more impressions we can get YouTube to send out around the world of our videos, the chances are we're going to get a lot more views. Now this screenshot here shows a 2-week snapshot of some statistics, and on the left there we can see impressions 128. So for 14 days it only got 128 impressions. That's YouTube sending out the thumbnail to viewers around the world. 14 views, it's not very good. Now there's the overall view from the day it was published up until a couple of days ago, that's early November. You can see it's 4,800 impressions, totaling 786 views. Now if we look at this screenshot, this shows the last 28 days, and in the last 28 days it's had 1,500 impressions, which is very encouraging. That actually represents 30% of all impressions. And if we look even more closely at the last 7 days, it received 703 impressions. So in the last 7 days it has received 14.5% of all the total impressions. So what can we conclude from this? Well, some experts could probably conclude more than what I can, but what I would say is don't delete your video due to low viewing figures. Its time may come. Don't think your video is rubbish simply because of poor viewing statistics. It may simply be that YouTube is not giving it much airtime. In other words, YouTube is not sending out lots of impressions of your thumbnails when people do a YouTube search. Of course, it's always worth continuing to refine what you do with your video, perhaps spending more time on the thumbnail, investing in a new microphone so you've got a better audio quality. But unless the video really is terrible, I wouldn't necessarily delete it. It may be of benefit to somebody, and as I said, its time may yet come.